Hey everyone, Dan here at the Metro 50th Anniversary display at the Great American State Fair. I'll be addressing my presence at this controversial event later in this video, but in short, I'm here exclusively for the Metro exhibit and nothing else. So if you're only watching this video for the trains and don't want to hear anything even remotely political, consider this timestamp here on screen to be the end of the video for you. Here at this event, Metro is celebrating its 50th anniversary with a history display, featuring Metro's original 1000 series railcar and a real actual 8000 series railcar. Now this isn't a mock-up like what was shown off at the National Mall a few years ago, but an actual production train. Neither of these trains are completely genuine, as the 1000 series has had a significant cleanup and the 8000 series isn't completely done, but it's pretty close to the real thing. The exhibit starts with the refurbished 1000 series train car, and I don't mean a 1000 series train car, I mean the train car 1000. These train cars are quite similar to today's 3000 series train cars that are still seen in service on Metro today. But while today's trains have seen a significant renovation over the years, the original trains looked a lot different. The most striking difference is the color scheme. Whereas today's trains are known for their white and blue color scheme, the original look was that of orange, yellow, and brown. The original trains also had carpeted floors, manual roll signs, and there were no digital displays of any kind. The advertisements in the map shown in here are actually period appropriate as well. On the 8000 series train, there are many significant upgrades from today's 7000 series. Metro had a mock-up of this 8000 series train on display about 2 years ago, which the guide called the cardboard train. But this is the actual thing, and a lot has changed since that mock-up. While the aesthetic remains broadly the same as the 7000 series, there are some immediately noticeable differences. The first thing most people are going to notice is the length of the train, as the 8000 series looks a lot longer, and well, it kind of is, but not really. What you're seeing here is actually two train cars that are connected with an open gangway, meaning you can openly walk between the two train cars like what you see with many of Metro's long articulated buses. It won't be the entire train connected like this, just every set of two train cars. This will help spread out passenger traffic, especially during peak times. I can name so many times whenever I've ridden Metro and I'm in the middle of a few train cars that are so crowded that I couldn't even really step on the train, yet either the frontmost or the backmost rail car was so empty you could still find a place to sit. This should help significantly in spreading out passenger volume, so that way everything's a bit more even. The next difference is the direction of the seating. Whereas today, the 7000 series has a mix of parallel and transverse seating depending on the row, the 8000 series seems to keep parallel seats on one side of the train and transverse on the other side. Next up is the large digital displays, which I was told will show much more information than the ones on today's 7000 series, though I will say the current 7000 series displays are already quite good, just a bit on the small side. While I didn't quite manage to catch everything being shown on the new screens, I imagine there will be an on-screen setup similar to what was shown a few years ago in the mock-up. This display shows a live updating map including closures and progress of the train line, and I actually really like this. And I hope this idea makes it into the production trains. Some other small details of the new 8000 series trains are heated floors, a larger area for wheelchairs and bicycles, more standing room, and a more distinct outer aesthetic. These new 8000 series trains are being built by Hitachi in Hagerstown, Maryland, and are expected to hit the rails at some point in late 2027. I imagine there's a good chance that these new rail cars are probably going to hit the rails within a couple weeks of the Purple Line opening, so that'll be an interesting few weeks if that happens. Annoyingly, while I was able to get a sorta okay photo of the front of the 8000 series train, I was not able to get a photo of the front of the 1000 series train at all, which was actually really disappointing. Metro also had a pop-up shop for their event as well at their main office at LaFont Plaza, and it really was a popular attraction with a line literally out the door. Like, this shop was significantly more popular than the exhibit itself. While I didn't take any video of the shop itself, I did get this water bottle here, which you can see has these little spots here with the names of all 98 Metro stations. Now, the thing with this water bottle is it comes with a bunch of stickers. And the point of these stickers are every time you visit a station, you put a sticker on the water bottle. I'll be curious to see if these hold up whenever the water bottle gets cleaned. I hope that's the case. And for those of you only watching for the trains, consider this the end of the video. As a matter of fact, if you want to see the previous version of this video, the mock-up train that I filmed a couple years ago, and see just how far my video quality has come since then, go ahead and take a watch up there. It's pretty painful, I'm not gonna lie. But for anyone concerned about my attendance at the Great American State Fair, let's talk about that. Okay, so the Great American State Fair. This event has been really controversial as it was originally supposed to be a politically neutral celebration of the United States and its history. On paper, that sounds like a great idea and a really fun time. However, if you've heard anything about this event, it's probably the fact that the president has decided to hijack the event and make it a celebration of himself. He even declared at one point, in place of a concert that nearly every invited musician rejected, except for Vanilla Ice apparently, that he would be the headline artist, and that the opening concert would basically just become a Trump rally, which is exactly what happened. Other controversies include a fake medicine Maha event, a religious prayer tent that pretty much goes directly in the face of the separation of church and state, a Confederate flag on the North Carolina exhibit, a model of the Arc de Trump, and the Trump administration taking control of the event planning from the nonpartisan committee that was originally supposed to oversee it, and then inserting it with a bunch of political dark money. There are a lot more details about how the Trump administration became deeply and corruptly involved with this event, with links in the description down below. But one thing is clear, a significant portion of the country sees this event as incredibly controversial and politically toxic, myself included. Now, I'm not trying to claim that all celebrations of this country or patriotism are all inherently fascist or anything like that, but the Freedom250 branded and sponsored events specifically really have a MAGA stank to them. And that stank has unfortunately wafted its way into the Metro exhibit, and I find WMATA's participation to be quite troubling. Now, I understand that WMATA and Randy Clark have to walk a really fine line when it comes to dealing with the current administration and public opinion, and I think they generally do a pretty good job of it. But I think that having an exhibit set up at an overly politicized, controversial event like this was a bit too far over that fine line. I don't think Clark or WMATA would have been chastised or berated for simply not holding this event, and maybe hosting these displays on a different day with maybe something closer to the MetroFest celebrations we've seen of years past. The only reason for my attendance was to document the event and the trains from a journalistic perspective, and even then I still pretty strongly considered not going. My attendance here was brief. I went through security, walked directly to the Metro exhibits, and I spent no time or money at any other part of this entire event outside of Metro's exhibit. If you choose to go to the Metro exhibit, I would recommend doing the same. If it wasn't for the politicized nature, I would have stuck around and checked out a lot more of what was there. I personally think the idea of each state having their own exhibit is a really cool idea, and I was legitimately tempted to go check it out. It does seem that many states have boycotted this event, and I can't say I blame them, though I also understand a lot of people being really disappointed with that as well. The whole situation's quite unfortunate, I think, because it feels like the far right of this country has basically stolen the concept of American patriotism, and for many people, anyone waving the American flag automatically gets perceived as a fascist shithead these days, and it pisses me off that the rest of us let that happen. While I don't think people should attend this specific event, I think it is important for those of us who aren't in a fascist cult to embrace a sense of patriotism, even if you aren't particularly patriotic, if for no other reason than to make it clear that we aren't okay with the worst of us owning the image of our country. If I post this on July 1st as anticipated, there are still a few days to plan and attend Independence Day and 250th Anniversary events, and to plan them in a way that celebrate the parts of this country's legacy that are actually worth celebrating. Let's show our pride in the America that's the leader in innovation, entertainment, free speech, delicious though unhealthy food, and individual expression. Not the America that dehumanizes immigrants and trans people, starts pointless and bloody conflicts, threatens our own allies, and rejects science. That's all I have for you today. Have a good one.